Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. Today I'm going to present to all of you about I'm very afraid that this feeling of worry leads to the real of dreams.
Gentlemen, are you ready?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon everyone. Welcome to our PD Talk Series 2023 on overcoming speaking anxiety. So how are you everyone? Feeling great today? Hope you are doing good no matter where you are and thank you for joining our PD Talk. So let me introduce myself. My name is Noratikah and you can call me Atika. I will be the host for today. And don't worry, I'm not hosting alone because I will be hosting this talk with my partner Suhaila. Hi Suhaila!
Hello everyone, I am your host for today. My name is Suhaila. You can call me Su. And I am so excited to be here with all of you today. So let's bless our talk today by inviting Izzu to recite the dua.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Hamdan ni'amahu wa yukafi majidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karimi wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad salatan karimin sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wasallam. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad salatan tunjina biha min jami'il ahwali wal afat wa taqdilana biha jami'il hajat wa tutahhiruna min biha min jami'il sayyi'at. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami memohon kepadamu ya Allah, Kau permudahkanlah urusan kami pada hari ini Allah, di mana kami berhimpun pada hari ini berdoa memohon rahmat dan hidayah darimu. Semoga dengan rahmat ini Engkau berikan petunjuk kepada kami, Engkau perkokohkan perpaduan kami, Engkau memperbagi urusan agama dan dunia kami. Kami juga memohon perlindungan daripadamu ya Allah, dari segala perkara yang boleh mencacat celakan majlis kami, daripada segala perkara yang melalaikan ya Allah. Kepadamu juga kami berserah segala urusan ya Allah. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wasallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. So guys, we are not only two of us. I would like to introduce our backbone of this program. So Suhaila.
Yes, Atika. We also have other member, Atika. We have 3 moderators. First, our gorgeous one is Izyan. Hi, Izyan.
Hello everyone, I'm Izyan. Have a nice day.
We have Hazirah si cantik manis.
Hello guys, I'm Hazirah.
And our last moderator, si comel bernama Ayu.
Hi guys, thank you for joining us.
Oh, yes, Suhaila. We also have 2 members on multimedia and stage manager, which is si cantik manis Ain. Hi Ain.
Hi everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoy our PD talk today.
Wow, kata-kata semangat daripada Ain. And the one and only boy here is Izzu. Hi Izzu.
Hi, hello. Sorry for the technical issue. So I hope you guys enjoy our video talk today.
Wow, they seem so excited already.
Yes, Atika, they look very happy today.
So Suhaila, do you know who gonna be our panel speaker today?
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to our beautiful panel speaker, Madam Afiza. Hi, Madam Afiza.
Hello.
Hi, Madam.
Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. How's everybody?
Waalaikumsalam. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, good, Madam.
Thank you so much for
today,
being with
Madam.
us.
No worries. I'm happy to be here.
Okay.
Alright, and not to forget our beautiful PD coach, Madam Azwin. Hi, Madam.
Hi, thank you. I'm
Alright.
excited. I'm excited.
I'm so excited, Madam.
Despite all the bum scan, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's time to give your best. All the best.
Yes. Alright, thank you so much for spending your time with us, Madam. We are very, very happy to have everyone here. So, Suhaila, what the next?
Yes, Atika, as a title of our program today, Overcoming Speaking Anxiety, we want to discuss about speaking anxiety among youth today, the factor causes speaking anxiety and ways to overcome speaking anxiety.
Yes, oh yeah, our belief participant, don't forget to make an interesting IG story and tag travel. So, Suhaila, what the next?
Yes, Atika. All right. Throughout this session, we have interesting questions to ask our panel speaker. So we hope everyone can stay with us till the end of the session so that we all can get an idea and view on this topic.
So, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue our session today, it would be an honor for us to share the background of our wonderful panel speaker, Madam Afiza Aksan. So, let's watch the montage.
Madam Afiza Aksan is currently a Senior Manager of Change Management and Communication Unit CMC in Education Performance and Delivery Unit, or better known as PADU. She holds a degree in teaching English as a second language from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. During her college years, she was always active in public speaking and English parliamentary debate competition locally and internationally. She served as an English teacher for almost 10 years since the year 2000 at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Tasik Permai in Ampang, Selangor. During her teaching years, she encouraged her students to speak English through her lesson, as well as various activities including drama, debates, and public speaking when she was acting as the head of the English panel. Her extensive experience in teaching English, presentation, and public speaking made her an expert in the field when she accepted the offer to serve in her current position today. As a senior manager in CMC PADU, she focused mainly on delivering the communication plans whilst at the same time foreseeing event organization and management for PADU. She recently represented Padu as a guest panel on Edufluencer in talk show called Sembang Didik 2022 on Didik TV. Madam Afiza is also actively emceeing programs for Padu and private sectors. Her own experience in public speaking include hosting TV programs and event with Astro earlier on in her career. Among the programs she hosted included a TV game show with Bob Lokman called TV Champion and several other Astro programs. Apart from hosting, she was also a voice-over talent and translator. She is also a talented lyricist and wrote the lyrics of the song Sampai Bila, a song made popular by Dato Afrin Shauki. As a mother to 3 beautiful children, she loves sewing, baking and gardening. She also prioritizes and practices a healthy lifestyle. Known as Coach Fifi, she guides and educates people on how to achieve an ideal weight by sharing her diet tips after successfully achieving the ideal weight herself. She loves sharing good eating habits, healthy daily meals, and well-being tips on her social media. She loves cats and spends most of her free time with her beloved family.
Hello, Madam Afiza. Wow.
Wow, yeah, I'm shocked.
I am impressed. Wow.
Yes, I'm really impressed.
Wow.
I'm impressed of you. I would like
Madam
to
Afiza.
formally welcome you to our PD Talk series for today. Without wasting any more time, let's move to our moderating session. Yay!
Yay! Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, Madam Afiza. I'm Izyan as the first moderator. So before we start the session, let me ask one question, which is an intro question for you to answer and share with us. We're anxious to know what is the question, right? So one, we are very curious about it also. Perhaps you can tell us if there is any differences in speaking anxiety condition before and today. What I mean is considering of digitalization and technology investment. Okay, as we know that we are now living in a digitalization life, so before kewujudan digitalization, how's the condition of the anxiety that people face? Yeah. If you get that kind of question.
Okay. All right. I think, first of all, okay, when we talk about communication, right? Communication happens I think naturally, okay? And it happens even way before digitalization, right? When we were born, right? So we communicate with our parents in not so many ways, through our crying, that kind of thing, right? So when we talk about communication, previously when we communicate or when we present, we're talking specifically about because when we talk about speaking anxiety, meaning when you have to present or communicate to somebody who you do not know, and it's normally done face to face, right? So speaking anxiety then, right, I mean, it occurs. And even to me, right, even after digitalization, it is still here. Okay, now what has changed is that during COVID, probably because we were a lot of times we don't have face-to-face interaction. Most of the time we are on the phone through messages, and probably Zoom, and sometimes even through Zoom, you do not have to switch on your camera. So, you have less of the anxiety because you do not have to look at your audience, right? So probably you feel a bit comfortable talking because you're just and you may not even want to look at the audience. You will just switch on to another page, right? So you lessen your anxiety. But now that COVID, I mean, it's not over, it is still there, but we are at the point where we actually do both. We have face-to-face, back to face-to-face, and sometimes we have online sessions like this. So the speaking anxiety comes back. So, you have to deal with it right now, right? And so to me, it has never, in a way, totally, totally non-existence lah, yeah? But it has always been there. It's just how you manage it. And actually, through the mode of your presentation. So prior to digitalization, probably the anxiety is higher because you have to do face-to-face all the time. During COVID, you managed to escape from it, not actually dealing with it. You escape from it, but now when it's back, so you still have it if you have not dealt with it then lah, yeah. So so it occurs every time if you do not manage it well. So there are ways to manage it so that you do not have anxiousness when speaking,
as you mentioned before, right? However, I also face that, I mean, like in my own perspective, I have all the preparation well. I mean, like I already prepared myself, practicing, and also hafal semua yang saya dah baca. And I'm like, I set my mind, okay, I'm a ready person. I can do this. Okay, one day before the presentation day, I am so confident and all right, I can do this. Izyan, you are well known. You can tell everyone you will present well. Okay, something like that, madam. So
okay.
When it's come to the presentation day, oh my God, Izyan, what have you done? You only standing in front of audience. You don't know how to present. Okay, so if that kind of situation happened in your perspective, Puan Afiza, how you handle that situation?
Okay. All right.
So, I think she's experiencing it now. she's
actually reading it well, because I don't see Izyan being nervous, even when you are asking this question, it shows how confident you are with the question because you know what you're talking about. And that's what I'm talking about. You need to know your material or, the topic well in order for you to be in it. And you don't actually focus on the presenting, but rather on the content of it. So when you do this, you are focusing on the content. So, it comes out naturally and to your astonishment or to your surprise, you are not nervous, you may think that you are, but you are not. So, and normally it I mean, for myself, right, even after years of experience in public speaking, as I mentioned, I think at the beginning of this talk, right, I always get nervous before I start. But once you are in it, you feel comfortable because you know who you're talking to. You see the audience faces and then everybody is nodding and, understanding what you say. So you somehow feel a bit more relaxed and natural. And I think you just have to let yourself be in one with the audience. So don't doubt yourself, yeah. So whenever, because you have that, I mean, like the day before, you feel so confident, and then on the day itself, that is, it's normal, it's usual, it's normal.
Even something like you see your audience, alamak, macam tu. We are not expecting to have that expression from the audience. We are expecting like everyone like want to listen to me. When the day come, everyone just show this kind of face.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's usual. I mean, everybody, like you want, of course, you want your audience to be wow with your presentation. But people have their own, that's why whenever you are presenting, you need to know, or you need to be able to show how your presentation is beneficial to the people listening, so that they want to listen, So like what I'm saying, whatever I'm saying, you are all nodding because I'm actually the answer to the marks for your PD talk, right? So yeah, that's why you are all in it. So that's what I mean. Give them what they want to hear, rather than what you want to share. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, Madam Afiza, I have one. I mean, like this is always come across my mind. It is about an experience. Okay, one statement said that a professional who are in business also having an anxiety, not only us as a student, also for the youth. Yeah, we know youth have that anxiety, right? But I have read several statements stated that speaking anxiety usually not happen among youth, but professional as well. So in your opinion, Madam Afiza, is it true that experience will influence the speaker performance and can reduce the anxiety symptoms in terms of experience?
Okay. Yes, experience definitely, because now, but you need to learn from the experience, you know. We do not talk about age, as in, you know, the older you get, the better you get. It doesn't work that way. It's actually the more experience you have, the more you learn from whatever past mistakes that you've done, and you can tweak it, you know, to make your presentation better than previously, right? So as you have more experience over the years, what you will do is, you know how to read the audience. For example, you know, you prepared something and then suddenly you look, your audience are not the ones that you have prepared it for. So you need to somehow tweak it, you know, to the audience benefit. Like I say, because whatever that we present, you need to make sure that the audience it's what's in it for the audience. They have the benefit of listening to you. So professional, they still get nervous, like I've mentioned earlier, but they are able to adapt very quickly as compared to youngsters, because of the lack of experience. But that's why I say practice makes perfect. The more you practice, you know, the better you be in your presentation. So I'm sure, like for you, Izyan, and even Suhaila, right, the host, Atika, you have practiced, you know, your scripts, right, to the point that you have to make it your own, you know. It's not just about memorizing the words, but it's about, you know, understanding what you wanna present, or to relay to the audience. Because whatever that comes from your heart will touch the audience heart. Yeah, if it's something that you memorize, it will not, you know. Because if you forget one word, you go like, oh my god, what is that word? Yeah, right. So that's it. So don't memorize, understand it, and then relay it straight from your heart. Yeah.
I agree with you. But to have a good presentation and to attract audience, to interest during our speaking topic, we are not only supposed to use our vocal, but need to have a correct intonation and good body gesture. So, can Afiza give some tips on how to control a body gesture and how to make eye contact and how to use a suitable intonation during speaker do their presentation?
Wow, that's a lot of how to, number one, intonation, the right intonation. Secondly, manage your body gesture, right? And then the other one was again. Eye contact, to constant eye contact. Okay, all right. So yeah, all three are very, very important when you're presenting, correct? Now, number one, when you talk about intonation, that is the most important thing, is that, when we are presenting, because number one, your voice needs to be clear. If your voice is very low or slow, right, people can't hear you well, they get turned off and they don't want to listen to you. All right, so number one, it has to be loud enough for them, but not screaming, of course. Yeah, you're not shouting out what you have to say, because when you're shouting, people get intimidated by your presentation, and they will also get turned off and they don't want to listen to you. Okay. So intonation wise, how do you manage it? You have to read the audience. Okay, read the audience, meaning you need to look at them and see, okay, is this like a big crowd, very noisy? That means, are they actually listening to you? If you feel that they are not listening to you, meaning your voice might be slow or low, right? So what you need to do is to focus or highlight on certain words. When we talk about intonation, there is the high and the lows, yeah? So not throughout. It shouldn't be the same throughout. It shouldn't be monotonous. Like, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be talking about speaking anxiety. I hope you will all enjoy it. Yeah, that's monotonous. So you need to, of course, have a certain tone. Like, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're going to be talking about speaking anxiety. You see, so it all comes in. Yeah, the intonation, as in, you know, because you want to focus or highlight on the topic, and then at the same time you have your body gestures in, as in, right, when you talk about your topic, your eyes like kan, so you takkan when you talk about okay, today we're going to be talking about speaking anxiety. I don't know why I'm giving this topic, but right. So body gestures also play a role because it will also affect how the audience look at it. They will. Do you know, like we always get how do you say whenever somebody is happy, even by listening to someone speaking, we are automatically happy. Yeah, and the same goes if your voice is sad, you know, when you want to talk about something sad, people get the same empathy and they will be sad as well. So that's what you want instill in your presentation. So your intonation will determine that. How do you want them to react to your presentation? So make sure there's the highs and the lows. Okay, do not have a monotonous kind of speech. Do not have a very high, you know, like speaking, a shouting kind, a screaming kind of tone as well, because it's not something that people like to hear. All right, so just make sure that it's clear and it has intonation. In terms of eye contact, okay, now when we talk about eye contact, right, sometimes it's difficult to look at people, yeah, because you're shy. Let's say I'm a shy person. Do you believe that I'm a shy person? I am very shy actually.
No, you don't really.
Okay,
You don't look like one.
Yeah, so I don't look like one. Okay, now if let's say you just need to look at somebody in the audience. Okay, this is just a tip lah, for the ones who have this problem. Look at someone in the audience who you think is very, I mean, who's close to you, or you know, all right? So you will speak to that person as if you are speaking to that person, okay? But let's say this person is speaking at the side, not in the middle, right? So you can't be looking at the side all the time. What happens to the audience in front of you, right? So what you do is you try to look, eye length, wherever you're speaking, you look at the audience, but not at anyone in particular. Okay, this is another tip. Yeah, you just look straight and then at one point. Yeah, not anyone in particular, so that you are actually addressing all of the audience. But have constant head movement, as in look at the audience as a whole. Do not just look at one spot, because it's as if you are not, you don't care about the other audience. So have a gradual, or time to time, look at another point on the left, another point on the right. So as if you are addressing everybody. So because eye contact means that you are engaging with the audience and you care about them, yeah. Because if you're looking at one spot, the rest of the audience, the one on the left and right, they will, okay lah, I will go home. Then she's not actually talking to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that's on eye contact. And finally, body gestures. I think I managed, I also spoke about body gestures when we're talking about intonation. Your body gestures actually goes along with your intonation. Sometimes, when you want to focus on things, you have hand gestures, or your eyes, including your eyes and your body movement. Some people, they do not like to see, who wants to see a speaker jumping up and down all the time, right? You can have occasional movement in order to emphasize or highlight on a certain point, but do not have constant movement. Nanti your audience pening, like, what? All right, so just but be sure to inject to show that you are actually human, not a robot lah. That's why you have the body gestures. Okay, so have I answered your question, Nuridayu?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
definitely,
If
madam.
I ask you to repeat, can you do it? Okay.
Okay, all right, madam. Instead of saying like a body gesture, intonation, and eye contact, right? So this one is for the physical look. I mean, like everyone see us talking like that with a hand gesture, body language. But some people they have a problem. I mean, like nak berperang dengan perasaan sendiri orang cakap macam tu. So the negative mind that control the speaker itself. It happens sometimes. Okay, so I mean, and the negative perception. I mean, like the negative perspective in their mind, something like, oh, if I said something like this, is it the audience will listen to me, or they will just say, I already know, you don't need to tell us. Okay, so yeah, something like that will happen in front. I mean, like in our inner side and in our mind. Okay, for your experience itself, for your own experience, madam, how you handle that situation? I mean, when it's come negative, when the negative feeling control yourself, how you handle to manage it well, so that the audience doesn't know you are actually berperang dengan diri you sendiri. Macam tu.
Okay. All right. First of all, I think all the negativity, you need to change it to positivity, right? Okay. Before you go on stage, you need to have a positive mind. You can't have a negative mind. So I will trash out. Okay, this is talking from my own experience. Prior to going for any kind of presentation, of course, research needs to be done. You do your homework.
Yep.
Right? You do your homework so that you know your material or your topic well. Yeah. Now, and then you will anticipate somehow what are the questions that people can ask you regarding this topic. And you will have a mitigation plan on how, you answer each question. And what if, so all the negativity will come then, as in when I'm preparing. So if I say this, audience would probably not like it. It's not going to be a popular or is a sensitive kind of issue and so on. So I deal with it prior to the presentation. During the presentation, there's no time for you to have the negative thoughts. And in fact, to me, I think it's very rare that you will have time to feel it. What if I give this answer? Will they, like what I'm doing now? Whatever that I'm telling you will be based on my experience and how I deal with things. So I don't care. I mean, to me, you have to have this in mind. How I will not have the time to care whether or not it sounds negative or positive to you, because this is a topic that I know well. You get what I mean? So that's why you need to prepare very well and trash out all this negativity prior to your presentation. So when, let's say for some reason, Izyan, if during, because you guys, there are 3 of you as moderator, and while Nuridayu is asking, Izyan, you are thinking of this question and you feel that somehow you self-doubt yourself, right? You have to, what if I ask this question? What is Puan Afiza? I think Puan Afiza is going to say, what kind of question? Okay, let's say you have that moment, right? So, okay, now, would you be able, now, the thing is, and unless if the question is being already asked, then I will not have any kind of negative perception towards you. But if you just throw the question and see how I deal with it, wouldn't that be better? And then you can actually interrupt or say something or add on to it, right? So it's basically what I'm trying to say is that during, even in this kind of situation, you will not have time to have these negative thoughts, telling you people will actually not like what the question you're asking. These are all going to be trashed out before this, so before the presentation itself, right? So if you have any negative thoughts, don't, just don't have, and just
believe that
think, you believe in yourself, number one. Secondly, you have to have the end in mind, as in, I am going to do well in this talk. I'm not, I'm not going to blunder or have any bumps. Everything is going to be fine. You keep on telling yourself that your the whole your whole self will believe it and you will do well. Yeah?
Inshallah.
Any other questions?
I want to ask.
Yes.
Okay.
You know how we hear many workshops, out there, like, oh, come improve your speaking skills, and then they charge you like sometimes 500, 1,000, for 3 days and all that, So they wonder.
Yeah.
They wonder what is being taught there. Like, is there like a specific skills or techniques? Like, you go in there, you press a certain button on your body, you become a speaker, Like, I wonder what do they do to you there,
Yeah. Okay. I think no. Okay. Number one, of course, you want to know who is the one organizing those workshops, right? You want to be able to trust that that person will be able to share tips and experience, so that they whatever that is shared will be of knowledge to you, new knowledge to you that you can practice or you can apply in your presentation skills, and that's how you be better. But I mean, any workshop, and it doesn't only apply to a public speaking workshop. It can be communication workshop, whatever workshop that you go through, even drama workshop. What it does is it shares with you some tips, and these tips are basically from experiences of those people who are experts in that field, right? However, even after you attend that workshop, if you do not apply on the knowledge or the skills that is being taught, I doubt that you will be able to, to get anything out of it. So it doesn't matter how much it costs, unless if it's somebody or it's your icon, right? Your icon in public speaking that you have been wowed at from the beginning of time. So you go to the workshop just to meet that person, right? And gain, the knowledge here and there. You need to practice it in order, or apply it in your daily life in order for you to be better at it. But of course, this workshop actually opens your eyes to, different styles and ways of people speaking, because we will all, one way or another, adapt our own ways of speaking. So we can't replicate anybody when presenting. There's always different style. Yeah, even like when your hand gestures, some people, they have a certain word that they keep on saying. If you notice, you look at your friends when they are presenting, see what kind of style that they have. And that's why when you imitate, you will say, oh, if Izzu, he will always speak like this, a certain way. Or if Izyan,
you know what? They know how to imitate me also.
Yeah. You see?
Especially Izyan.
So it's about getting your own style of speaking, right? So I do feel that workshops can actually help to better your skills, but you need whatever it is on your own. You need to practice and apply those skills in order to be better in speaking. Okay.
So I thought those workshops, I can send my very quiet student or very introvert student come out, then suddenly become Afli Shauki, like wow.
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends. Maybe if somebody in the workshop is somebody she's interested in, and she'll be speaking like, probably you will get that lah. Otherwise, no, it'll be the same unless if she practices more.
One of the participant lah, Madam Azwin. Madam.
Anyway, we don't want to forget that we have participants who's very eager out there to ask questions,
Okay.
So we have come to almost an hour. We can allow the moderators to ask one or two questions, and then we have the Q&A session. Is that okay, Madam Afiza?
Yes, sure, no problem.
Okay, all right. So I have like one more question from me. I want to ask about explanation. Madam Afiza, you have several experience, right? You also attend a TV programs, TV talk series or something like that lah. So I have one question to ask you about how to handle a question that is not related to the topic that you are talking about. I mean, like, okay, we are discussing about speaking anxiety
that
right
means
now.
you have a bad audience.
An audience who
we have that kind of audience.
Yeah.
So we as a speaker, how you will handle that kind of audience? Takkan kita nak cakap, hey, kau tak dengar apa aku cakap? No, that's not right. Yeah.
Well, you can always hold your glasses like this and say, well, I'm not an expert in that. Probably somebody else who is better in that field will be able to answer that question better. But just from my point of view, okay, then you say something, to me, any kind of questions, unless if you totally don't have any idea about it, you can actually answer it, but based on your opinion. You just have to highlight it in that sense. But if you feel that no, this is not my field of expertise, and I think whatever that if I answer this question, it will be totally my individual point of view. So you may not may or may not be
Afiza,
right.
I'm not sure if my student has this question in their list or not, but I'm interested to know, how important do you view having some humor in you, like cracking jokes during your sharing session, being a speaker, like why do people do that, and is it really necessary?
Oh, thank you very much for that question. I was actually waiting for something like that. To me, it is very necessary. Now, it's actually it doesn't have to be jokes all the time. Sometimes, we have serious people talking, right? So your character itself will actually denotes whether or not you will crack jokes in your presentation, or you can always go down the line of telling a story, anecdotes, things like that. Now, what this does to your presentation is, number one, you want to capture your audience attention. Now, let's say if it's a very dry topic, it's very dry, that people are not really interested of that topic, but you just have to do it, right? So you need to inject an element of, that this is actually something common. So it's funny, something that is funny, so that people get you and they understand you on that level. All right. So don't think that, oh no, this is a serious talk. When we're talking about speaking anxiety, we cannot crack jokes. Otherwise, Madam Azwin will be mad at us. I think she would actually appreciate some jokes here and there, So I think you will get your audience attention better, and you will be more engaged with them. And what it does, actually, it will also loosen you up, as in, it will bring your anxiousness lower, so that when your audience laugh, meaning that you accept that they are, they understand what you're saying, and you will get better and you'll feel more relaxed and calmer after that. So let's say if you are very, very nervous before starting a presentation, start off with a joke. Thank you very much, Madam Azwin. That's a very, very interesting question.
Yeah, I thought I would highlight that, because sometimes even us as the speaker, sometimes we feel like, why is everyone too serious?
Yeah.
I think it's also important for us to take note of that, right?
Yeah. And anxiety actually will be even higher when you are a bit more serious. So loosen up,
Loosen up.
loosen up and chill. Like this is interesting, for us to talk about and discuss, right? Okay.
I think we have another one question on language. Is it? Do we have any question on language?
Yeah. On language proficiency. Yeah. Okay, about language. So, as we know that, it's not that, as we know, we are a Malay. Madam Afiza is a Malay person, same goes to me, but now we are speaking an English language. I think not only me, I think most of our participants face this kind of problem, which is they are not confident enough to speak in another language, I'm sorry. So, you are learning other language. So this now I'm speaking in English, and sometimes I feel some difficulty to speak in English because of the some vocabulary or something like that. So for your preferences, Madam Afiza, is it language proficiency will influence proficiency will influence the confidence level of the speaker?
Okay, language proficiency. Okay. Yes, it will. Actually, when we talk about language, presenting in a language that you are comfortable with is, of course, the best. Yeah. Meaning that because you understand your topic well in that language, you can relay it better because you have all the vocabulary within your reach. You know, it comes like this. But let's say in a situation whereby you have to use your second language, for example, like today, English, right? And you need to do it. So you need to practice it, of course, yeah. But I would also encourage not to use difficult vocabulary. Sometimes, and this happens a lot among students, they want to impress people. You know, like when they talk about proficiency, okay? So they will choose words that are bombastic. We call it bombastic words, right? Because they feel if I use this bombastic word, people will be impressed and I get more marks. Okay, if you use it correctly. If you use those words, wrongly, it may actually defeats the purpose of you using it, all right? So when you are presenting in a second language or in a language that you are not familiar with, number one, of course, an extra work has to be done. You need to prepare your speech or the points, yeah? And I will always say, try to prepare it in point form, not the full sentences. Why? Why? Because if you do it in full sentences, you will try to memorize it and it will sound very robotic. It doesn't sound like you're talking. It sounds like you're reading, you know? So when you have point form and you understand this point, okay, number one, I want to ask about this. Number two, I want to ask about this. So it comes naturally to you. You will choose words that is very simple for you to remember, of course, so that you can use the language better, right? And I think for all students, this is one, I think, very important point lah, yeah? Because every student, they feel that using bombastic words or more difficult words, they will get higher marks and so on. This is not true. Especially when you are presenting, the main purpose of your presentation is to relay the message. If people understand your message, then you have achieved your objective. If you use bombastic words, they don't understand a word you're saying, you have failed and failed really badly. So, if you cannot, if you do not have the option to present in a language that you are comfortable with, it has to be in English and you are not familiar with English, practice more, do your homework more, know your material better, and then try speaking with your friends when you are practicing so that you get somebody to either interrupt or give some comments or feedback on your presentation. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam Afiza.
Okay.
We already reached 1 hour of the moderating session.
Oh, it feels so fast, right?
Exactly. I
know
told you. But we're gonna open to Q&A because I know there are participants who would like to ask a question directly to you.
Okay, shoot. Go ahead.
How to be a good moderator? So moderator, to be a good moderator, you still require to speak. So maybe you can ask. What is your issue?
Oh my God, Madam, you asked a question that is we actually for 1 week before this talk, we are very anxious, afraid, shaking, and even sweating every night, Madam. Before sleep, we are sweating because we are organizing a talk that will discuss about speaking anxiety while we also having it. So throughout this week, we learned so much to overcome our own speaking anxiety. And throughout the session, we have learned a lot from Madam Afiza. Okay, it is tell us that experience will help to reduce anxiety also. So even though we have a lot of experience, we don't rely on it only, because it's also rely on ourselves. We must change the way we present and learn from the experience. That is what we got from Madam Afiza, which is learn from experience to have a better presentation in future.
I want to ask Madam Afiza.
Madam
Afiza.
Yes,
What makes a good moderator?
What makes a good moderator?
In your perspective.
All right. Now, we do organize forums, conferences as well. And in fact, last year we did one for the Malaysian Education Blueprint. And we had a moderator who was really brilliant. Now, a moderator's job, right, is to actually, of course, initiate those questions when asking the panel, but also managing in terms of time and what needs to be addressed in a forum, all right, or a talk session or a speaking session. So a moderator needs not only to be able to listen very well to whatever input that is given by the panel as a point, as a point for her to either sum up or come up with another question based on what is being discussed or said. Now, usually in a forum, sometimes there's like 3 panel. Like today, you are lucky, I'm the only panel. So you only need to ask me the question. Now, when you are in a session where there are more than 1 panel, so you need to balance. You don't want to give the airtime to one particular panel and ignore the other, right? So it has to be balanced. So you need to go from panel A and then to panel B and then to panel C and so on. So sometimes what you need to do, not sometimes, what you need to do is, as a moderator, whatever points given by panel A can be injected in the sense that it can be an input for a question to panel B and so on. However, you also need to be aware of their backgrounds in order to ask the right question to the right people. So a moderator's job is actually, the pre-work is actually a lot, whereby you need to do some research background, because moderator need not be an expert in the topic, but he or he needs to know what is going to be discussed so that you know more or less what is it the audience wants to know about the topic. What's the wow factor in the topic that will gain interest or engagement from the audience, right? So that's what moderator needs to do. You not only prepare the questions and then disregard or ignore whatever the panel is talking and ask the question again, whatever that the panel has spoken. So that is a sign of not a good moderator. So that's why the listening skill is very important for moderators, because you want to seem that you are engaged in the discussion session as well.
Hello, Arina.
Hi.
Okay, my question is, I'm actually I have an anxiety problem, which is I always avoiding my eye contact when speaking to the people, even Madam Azwin as well.
Yeah, I can see that you're looking all over, but not at the camera.
Yeah. And when I'm tend to speak, I always speak really fast because I'm super nervous, which I forgot how to breathe. So my question is, how am I gonna overcome my my anxiety problem?
Okay. All right. Now, I think first dealing with the eye contact, you need to ask yourself first. What is the issue that you are not able to look at a person in the eye? You need to address this issue first. If you speak to your mom, for example, do you look at her in the eye or you don't? You don't even look at your mom in the eye.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So when you're lying, you don't look lah. You look somewhere else.
Like ma'am.
Okay, and I'm sure she picks that up. Now, mesti something ni that you're not looking at me. Okay, like I said just now. Okay, now if you are speaking in a presentation, eye contact is important. However, you can actually avoid looking at one person in particular if you can't do that by looking at a certain point. You know, like eye level point. You just look at straight and then move your head constantly like what you're doing, right? So that means you're addressing everyone. Now, let's say when you are talking to your lecturer, I think it is something that you need to try and overcome, as in you need to practice looking at your lecturer once in a while when you're speaking, okay? So that, you know, later on you get used to speaking at the person. Now, I think there must be a reason for why you are not looking at the person into the eye. So you need to address this issue first. Like when I asked you, you said that you do look at your mom when you are talking to her sometimes. So when are the times that you do not look at her? Because when you know what is the issue, then you can actually solve that issue in order to look at somebody in the eye. For example, what I'm trying to say is, let's say if you are looking at your lecturer to tell them to tell her that you cannot submit your assignment on time, let's say, yeah. So I'm sure you will not be looking at your lecturer directly, right? Because for the fear that she will get angry at you, so you don't want to look at her in the eye. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
macam
what.
biasa.
But when you want to tell her some, sorry, macam familiar. So, but when you want to
Macam
tell
biasa
her,
dengar je soalan ni.
when you want to tell her good news, I'm sure you will be able to look at her in the eye, right? I mean, for example,
Yes.
madam, I just got an A in the whatever subject. I'm sure you. Okay, so if that is your problem, so when you want to look at somebody in the eye, make sure whatever that you have prepared is something that is going to be good news. You get what I mean or not? So that you will be able to look at someone in the eye to talk about these things. Yeah. So in a way, what I'm saying is, if you are prepared for something, the presentation or whatever that you are telling somebody, you prepared better, you will be able to look at somebody in the eye. But you need to be confident enough that you know this topic or this thing well, okay? Then you look at it. Like I'm looking at you right now, okay? All right. Now, secondly, you wanted to say you tend to speak very fast when you are nervous. I think we all do. All of us do that, yeah? Before you actually speak, take a deep breath, yeah? Now, for presentation as well, before you start any presentation, take deep breath, yeah? Inhale, exhale, so that you reach a Zen punya state. Yeah, Zen meaning very calm, calming state. All right. Once you are calm, then you start. So that's why do not let people rush you into starting any presentation. Okay, you take your time. You take your time to the point that you are ready. You are at that state where you are comfortable. So that's why, okay, my own experience, right? Whenever I want to speak to people, I will look at the audience first before I start, you know, just to make sure that I can, if there's any familiar faces, you know, or that kind of thing, I read the audience as in to see what kind of audience am I dealing with. I will look at them, take a deep breath, and then I start. That's what I normally do. Okay. So why don't you, I mean, you can try this if you want, because once you look at your audience, don't rush it, take your deep breath, and then you start. Okay. Of course, after practice and after all your preparation lah, yeah. Okay. So do that. And when you are in a calm state, you will speak at a slower pace. Okay. Even when you are speaking fast, now tell your friend lah, masa you are speaking to, ask them to give you a sign if you are speaking too fast, so that, you know, it helps you to reduce your pace. Okay. Shall we try that? I think you can do it. You are looking at me already?
Maybe I can try tonight, because tomorrow pun I ada PD talk pukul 10 pagi. Jangan lupa datang.
Tomorrow. 9
Nice,
o'clock.
nice. I think you are good that you came into the talk, right? So you at least get some tips and you can try.
Arina.
Okay, what's the question?
What's the question, Alif? Madam, I have a question. Sometimes during presentation in class, we students have to speak in English, but often I'll get shaky hands in front of the classroom. Can you suggest any tips to hide shakiness?
Hide the shakiness. To hide the shakiness. So shake the whole body so
shake. Yeah, maybe you should play a song and dance to it, Ali.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You have to speak in English. So I'm guessing that one of the reason why your hands are shaking, probably because you are not too proficient in the language, probably. Yeah, I'm just guessing because I'm not too sure. But I think it happens. Like I think we have discussed this earlier on. Yeah, when Izyan talking about the languages. So when you're not comfortable with the language, definitely you are extra cautious. Yeah. The reason why you are shaking is because I think you are just afraid that you cannot find the right words to say, right? And if your friends will laugh at you with your pronunciation and so on. Okay, so in order to overcome any of these issues, right, we need to deal with it. Okay. Now you have seen your friends presenting as well. When your friends present, so there are certain, they have their own flaws as well, right? So you need to tell yourself that. So you need to tell yourself that these mistakes are common, all right? Do not be afraid of making mistakes when you're talking, because it is this mistake that will help you to be better. All right, and people understand that this is your second language. Yeah, it's not your first language. So definitely you will make mistakes here and there, but you also need to tell yourself that everybody does this mistake. All right, it's not only you. Okay, so in order now, one way and one tip, definitely one tip to make sure that you do not have shaky hands is don't hold any paper in front of you. That is very obvious, okay? Because it will look very obvious, right? Okay, that's number one. Secondly, now, if you can do some gestures with your hands so that it will not, be seen as shaking. As in, if you put it at one point, just like this, and then it shakes, people can see it. Or if you show this and then trembling, okay. So what you can do is inject, have some gestures when you're talking, so to not make it look so obvious, all right? Because it's something that you can try to hide, yeah. But totally not having it takes time. It takes time and practice. When you are more comfortable, as you speak longer, as you speak in the presentation, and the presentation goes on, you will somehow, have lower or the shaking hands will be better, yeah. It will not be as obvious, yeah, inshallah. So there's no button that you can push to stop, yeah. There's no automatic button. Everything, like I said, it will take time. It will take practice, because sometimes this is basically just due to confidence, yeah, lack of confidence in speaking the language, lack of you takut salah, takut terbuat ni, takut, a lot of the fear. So you need to face the fear by just dealing with it, yeah, and do it. And just remember, everybody does makes mistakes, so it's not only you. So just and people will accept it as for who you are. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alif.
Madam Afiza, thank you, Alif. Madam Afiza, we have Nazira ni. Dia dah angkat tangan banyak kali dah.
Okay.
Cakap dia. Nazira, mari.
Hello everyone.
Dia paling banyak soalan ni kau dalam kelas. She cannot leave the class without asking question, this girl.
Okay, hi everyone.
Halo, apa kabar?
Kabar baik.
Kamu nanya.
Okay, firstly I want to ask something for Madam Afiza. How we control my nervous while I'm singing in front of people, but I'm still shaking and I want to sing.
Madam, this is what I said before. Out of topic. We are talking about speaking, but she asking about singing.
Well, singing, presenting, talking, yeah, it's all, I mean, presentation, right? When you have to be in front of an audience, yeah, how you want to minimize. I think the word is more minimize. You can't totally not have it. Yeah?
Actually, Madam Afiza is a good singer. Serious. Trust me.
Well, Madam Azwin is a singer too. Singer as in singer or singer?
I'm the lion.
Both ways,
Wow.
both ways. Anyway, okay. So you number one, you know, okay, for singers, right? It's a bit different in the sense that if you know that you are a good singer, you have that confidence of singing. So before you sing, you will definitely have that nervousness. Yeah, this happens to everyone. I think if you ask any singer, they will also have that kind of nervousness. But once they start singing, you know, and then it will slowly fade away or immediately fade away for some. So to me, I'm sure, Nazira, that once you start singing, people cannot take away the mic from you, right? I'm sure. So I think it's just about as you want to begin. And I think the nervousness happens, you're just, before you start. It happens before you start. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Once you have started, are you still nervous when you are singing or not?
Yes. Until the end of my sing, I still do.
Okay, but it doesn't.
But it doesn't stop her from singing.
Exactly, right? And it doesn't make you out of tune, right? So then there is no problem. No problem. Your nervousness is just because you care enough about your performance that you want people to enjoy. So it is a good kind of nervousness. And as long as it doesn't interrupt in your singing or your performance, I don't think it's a problem, right? Because it's a good kind of nervous. Unless if your nervousness makes you stop halfway. Okay, I'm not going to sing. I'm too shy. Then you need to deal with it. But for this case, it's something that happens naturally. And just because you care about it. So it's okay, Nazira. You can just sing your heart out.
We have one more. One more. Izwani. Mana Izwani? Thank you, Nazira.
Thank you, Nazira, for your question.
Okay, nak lagi Nazira. Izwani. I think we have one more question. Izwani.
Hi, Izwani.
Yes. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, this is about my diploma. I've seen my friend that she's having a shaking and having a serious speaking anxiety. She even cried during her presentation in front of their classmate. Only classmate, but she cried. So what is the best way to us as a friend to help her to make her more comfortable during speaking?
Okay. I think this happens to everybody, you know, like one time or the other, right? And especially when you have just started presenting and so on. And some people have it even worse than others, to the point that they may just go blank, you know, they may cry and they may stop and, you know, just run away from the presentation. I think as friends, what you can do is number one, the person who has this anxiety needs to deal with it. In the first place, is to accept that moment, okay, as a pass. All right, it's okay. You know what, and you have to first accept it. But you tell yourself that this is not going to happen in the next presentation. Why? Because you learn from what happened in that particular presentation where you were shaking heavily and then you were crying and so on. And then you need to also recognize what made it that way. Is it because of you were not fully prepared? You know, Was the topic too difficult for you, or did you not have enough practice? So you need to understand what was the cause of that anxiety. Once you understand that cause of the anxiety, or you know what it is, then you are able to overcome by making sure you do not make the same mistake again. For example, let's say you were talking about something and you did not fully prepare. The day before, you had so many work to do, you did not actually go through that script or the materials well. So for the next presentation, maybe what you can do is you make sure you do a lot of research. You can get, or you can practice it in a group with your friends, somebody who are and maybe have someone who's good in presentation to be part of your team, to mentor you or to help you out, to give you some tips and so on, so that you can practice and you feel very, very comfortable with that person. So address the issue, deal with the issue, practice, make sure you are ready for it, and then tell yourself that the next presentation is going to be better. Okay, so guys, just a reminder, right? I think everybody will go through this at least once in their life, if not so many times, because number one is to accept the fact that that has already happened and it's in the past. It's okay, everybody goes through that. But to make sure that it doesn't happen in the future, then you need to learn from what happened in the past. All right, so again, I cannot stress enough on getting be ready, be prepared, as in, do your homework, learn up what you want to present, and then practice. All right, and then once you are good in this, there will be time that you don't need to practice anymore. You just need to prepare whatever points that you want, and then just have a go. Okay, so you will reach that point. I assure you that time will come, but you just need to keep on practicing when you are just beginning. Okay, so don't worry. But I think sorry, Izwani, I like to congratulate you, because you care enough for your friend to ask this question, and I think you should let your friend know that we are all in this the same. We are all in the same boat, so that your friends feel, oh, okay, so I'm not the only one experiencing it, and the support can help her get through this better as well. Okay, so tell them that you are there also for them. Okay,
Izwani, are you asking this on behalf of your friend who is going through some speaking anxiety?
No, this is my experience actually. I have someone.
Ni ada soalan ni daripada Hadi. Thank you Izwani.
But don't
Okay,
thank you, Afiza.
Hadi, can you come into the picture, please? There you go. Thank you, Izwani. Yes, Hadi, the question, please.
Hello, Hadi.
Introduce yourself,
Hi.
Hadi.
Hi, madam. My name is Hadi.
Okay, hi, Hadi.
Actually, I have two questions.
Okay.
My first question is, are you siblings with Madam Azwin?
Okay, next.
My next question is, if family upbringing can affect our speaking efficiency?
Okay. Family upbringing. I'll answer the second question first, and then the first question later.
I think your second question is longer than that, right?
No. Family upbringing affect speaking proficiency. In what way? Can I just ask you, Hadi? Can you be more specific? Family upbringing in what way? As in the way your parents speak to you, or what? What is it?
The role.
Maybe roles
I think
of parents.
what he meant. Apa dia?
Roles of parents in encourage their child to join. Examples, during schools we had public speaking or anything. So
no, I think what he meant is more of the parents punya style, parenting style. Like allowing them to be speak up. Speak up your mind. I think we mentioned about this, the Western and the Eastern punya culture style. I think we did discuss about this earlier.
Betul Hadi? Is that
Yes.
what?
Thank you, Madam Azwin.
Are you sure
Yeah.
you're not just agreeing with Madam Azwin?
No, it's actually
Okay, all right. So, okay, actually, there's two things about it. Yeah, one is because from what you, I gather from what you are asking is whether family support is play a role. Of course, family support plays a role. In fact, like just now we were talking about friend support also plays a role in actually, making sure or ensuring that you get better, when you're speaking, because from the support, you know that you are not alone in this, and somebody else it can help you in any way. So in terms of the support of or encouraging you to enter, public speaking competition and so on and so forth, of course that helps as well, right? But whatever it is you who is going to go through it. If your parents encourages you to the point that you feel you are being forced, nothing may happen. Okay, so let's say if you are something actually interests you more to join a public speaking competition, then that can help you to be better in speaking proficiency. Now, let's talk now about the East and the Western culture. The Western culture, they promote openness in speaking, like parents and children, they speak their minds, speaking their minds, meaning they would just say whatever is on their mind, regardless. In the Eastern society, like where we are brought up, our upbringing are we normally listen to what our parents say, right? So if we talk back, it will be seen as rude, or that you are going against your parents, and it's not acceptable. And I would think that in a way this can affect, not entirely, but can affect your speaking proficiency, not proficiency, but more of the confidence of you speaking out your mind, as in telling people how you feel, telling people what you think, So this is not a very common scene in the Asian society, in the Eastern culture. Okay, but as you grow older, sometimes the inclination or your interest in speaking, in communicating, grows higher. So that is when you see yourself going into all these Toastmasters or debating competition or public speaking. And it's okay, you do not entirely have to start at a really young age. Some people, they start late, in order to present. But because they are passionate, they get better really, really fast, right? So to answer your question, there is a little bit of an effect. Tapi if you are passionate ataupun you love communicating or doing public presentation, you can definitely overcome. Even though the upbringing did not support you to that path, but you will be able to find your way there, because it's all about passion. It's all about how you communicate with others. Okay, actually I saw that there are two earlier questions, one from Nur Nabila on the stuttering and shaking presentation.
We can address that. We can just address this question lah.
Okay,
I have a question regarding stuttering and shaking during presentation. May I know how I can control them?
I think we answered this question from siapa punya question tadi, the second one, Alif kan, yang pasal shaky hands tu kan. So it's the same, it's similar, stuttering, but stuttering is in speech, so stuttering, that means you do not, it's not a smooth kind of a presentation lah, you stutter. And normally you stutter when you are not really familiar with the words, or you do not know your topic well. Okay, because I rarely think that if you know your topic well that you would stutter, unless if you are really, really nervous. And in order to overcome the nervousness, again, take deep breath. You can stop. You know, if you realize that you are stuttering too much, that people may not understand what you're saying, just stop for a while. Excuse me. Or maybe inject some jokes while you are trying to gather all your, confidence again. Just strike up a joke or tell a story. Oh my God, my hands is shaking. Make it into a joke. I wonder why my hands are shaking.
Yeah.
So that people actually, he can actually turn it into a joke. So how cool is that, right? So and then you can continue. You get what I mean? So it's basically just to make sure that the audience are engaged with you, yeah, and they know, they empathize you as well, right? So make it something cool and do not think much about it, because everybody goes through it. Don't think that you are the only person in the world who has this kind of problem. Everybody goes through it, even the professional, even the most experienced, they go through it. So it's something that you just need to go once, and then as time goes by, it's going to be better. Okay.
Alhamdulillah. So maybe we can wrap up, moderators, with your conclusion. What is your take on the whole discussion for today? What did you take away from Madam Afiza?
Yeah.
Every moderating session, kita kena ada
wrap up,
conclusion, summary.
Firstly, thank you for Madam Afiza for this sharing session. What we can conclude from our moderating session today on speaking anxiety issues is it's normal to us having speaking anxiety before a public speaking. Everyone will experience it differently depending on their background, depending their situation. So with the, of course, these speakers can improve their skill from time to time and can get more experience from their past presentation. So, however, it's normal to all people feel nervous, and I think the speaker can improve the body gesture from their intonation, proficiency, vocabulary, perhaps find a good joke to enhance their engagement with the audience.
Yes, very good, Nuridayu. Well done. I think you've captured, the gist of the presentation or the discussion on the topic. I think all those are really pertinent points that you have taken and you have gotten. So kudos to you, Nuridayu.
Madam Afiza, firstly, I want to say very big thanks for you for joining this, and of course, Madam Azwin, thank you so much for guiding us. Okay, from what we have learned from this session is, of course, on tips how to overcoming the anxiety itself in terms of body language, intonation, and eye contact also. And also, you said that experience will never change you if you are not learning from what you have done. So learning is the key. Is the key to be a successful speaker. In terms of body gesture, we must go along with the intonation. It is not only the hand moving or your body moving, it's also your intonation as well. Same goes to eye contact. So you need to have that eye contact, not only straightforward, but also to all the audience. Also in terms of negativity that play on your mind, you need to overcome it and set a positive mind. Whatever happened before the presentation, you need to prepare well and set your mind that you can do well. So that's all that I got from Madam Afiza, and Thank you so much, Madam Afiza. We learned a lot from you.
Thank you very much, Izyan. Great job. I mean, great job as well. You have actually encapsulated all the points from the discussion that we have done. So also good job to you. Yeah. Okay, I'm now excited to hear what Hazirah has to say. What points already?
Kan? Apa point lagi?
Okay, in this thought session, I learned a lot fresh information from you, Madam Afiza. Thank you for sharing. I am very happy. And I am feeling little confident now.
Nice. All right, great. Actually,
Is this your first time moderating, Hazirah?
Yes, it's the first time.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I think all of you, you just need to reach that state of being calm, like when you are comfortable, then you will do well, definitely. And I'm sure, before you started this, the whole team, I'm sure you told yourself, okay, we are going to do great in this, right? So
yes.
Great, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Can I continue? I want to ask, I want to speak.
Oh, okay.
Sorry?
You got a confident, madam.
Well, you want to speak?
He hasn't finished.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm sure I'm not in heavy speaking anxiety alone, right?
Yeah.
What I learned when it comes to speaking in front of others, we should always practice, and keep practicing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or for our beginning, we may try talking to ourselves while standing in front of mirror.
Correct. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't believe what people say, such as that we are not good, smart, or that our voice sound like cartoon.
Yeah, that also happened.
Because we know ourselves and we need to have confidence to do all of this. To achieve success and the greatest in life, everyone will make mistakes. I really hope everyone in this PD Talk session can use the information provided from Madam Afiza to boost their confidence and reduce their fear of public speaking.
All right.
I think that's all from me.
Yay.
All right. Thank you very much, Hazirah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think
thank you so much.
Yeah, made a lot of good points as well, and a reminder to the rest of your friends, right? So good for you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice takeaway.
So, Madam Afiza, we already wrap up our session. Like, to be a confident speaker, we must believe ourselves. We must be confident. We must make more practice on intonation, gesture. So, Madam Afiza, is there any advice that you would love to share with us?
Okay, advice. Yeah. I think I've said everything that needs to be said regarding public speaking or public presentation lah. Yeah, we're talking about presentation because overcoming speaking anxiety. I cannot stress more the main things that whenever you are preparing for any kind of presentation. Number one, you need to be prepared, as in you need to know your topic well. Okay, that is number one. So research has to be done. You do your homework, getting to know the materials, because the more you know about the topic, the more confident you will be. And this confidence will actually help to lower your speaking anxiety. Because, like when we gossip, right? When we gossip passionately because we know, a lot of things that we want to say. And everything comes into play, like your intonation,
Right.
your eye contact, your hand gesture or your body gesture comes along with it. So it's the same. So when you're doing your presentation, you need to know your materials well, right? If it is in a language that you are not familiar with, then of course you need to practice even more. Practice, like Hazirah said, in front of the mirror. When you're doing it on your own, you practice with your friends, but you keep on practicing until you are happy with your rehearsals or your practice. Yeah, and then of course you also need to be calm, be positive. Yeah, be positive. Have in mind, okay, I'm going to do well in this presentation. You need to inject that positivity in your mind. Don't worry about what people say, because like I said, everybody goes through the same thing. Yeah, you may think that you are the only one in the world going through this, but today we see a lot of people are actually going through this. So it's normal. All right, just overcome it, get through it, and learn from it and be better. Right. So that's all I can say.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Afiza. Everyone, give a big applause for Madam Afiza.
Oh my God. To everyone, to everyone.
To everyone.
Congratulations to the group. You did a good job.
Congratulations.
And not to forget, we will also like to thank our lovely advisor, Madam Azwin. So, Madam, any words as to share before we end our talk today?
Oh, so ni closing remarks lah seperti biasa. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I would like to say, kenapa rambut saya macam ni? Okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you lah for our panel speaker punya time this evening. It's pretty late already for her, and she's still in the office. I believe she finished at 5. So,
it's fine.
Maybe after this she's going to claim from me extra cakes, yeah, because she loves having cakes, so I have to buy her a few cakes to compensate her extra hours. Okay. Anyway, I've always love getting my my sister, Madam Afiza, to involve with my work, because she does things on soft skills, communication, and it is always inspiring to me on what she does. So I would love to share her expertise into my field of work, especially sharing with you guys. Alhamdulillah, we do learn a lot, and the whole discussion has been a very challenging one, seriously. This topic is actually challenging, because I think not a single student does not go through this anxiety. I think everybody goes through this, even myself. So it is like close to heart. Like, this topic is pretty like significant to all of us. So it has been a real challenge for this group. So I would like to congratulate them for really not giving up, putting the effort, despite all the constant teguran. I pun lost vocabulary juga kadang-kadang. So like, I constantly like tell them like, oh, why are you not doing this? And they without fail, they will improve themselves over time. Like, oh, okay, we skip this. You know how sometimes people, when we tell them something, they're like, oh, you know what, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore, like I give up. I know we all go through this, but alhamdulillah, most of my students this semester doesn't experience that. They actually take the challenge and they came up with this. Even today, the punya challenge is dia punya connection pula. They had connection issues. And they gigih go and find places where to get connection for this online program to happen. Alhamdulillah. So congratulate to all of you. Congratulations to all of you. You should be able to sleep well after this, inshallah. Actually, this is a tough time, yeah, Madam Hafiza, because it is already towards the final weeks where they are expected to do a lot of presentation. So it is a real struggle between one assignment to another, and I'm just proud of you. I couldn't be prouder. Okay, so whatever that we have discussed today, I hope you will apply them in the future when you go to work. And of course, we have a postmortem after this. I don't like to remind you, but we have to do that. That's just part of the learning process. But to all the participants, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. I know selalunya afternoon session paling susah dapat participant, because everybody they prefer to sleep and they prefer to do something else. And today has been quite a good day. We started off with rain in the morning, a little bit of sun in the afternoon, so it's good to relax in the evening. So yeah, congratulations semua, dan thank you, Madam Afiza. Assalamualaikum.
Welcome. You're very much welcome. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, so is that my cue to leave?
No. Ada lagi.
Suhaila dia nak belanja pantun.
Oh, nak belanja pantun.
Okay.
Yes, so Suhaila, go on.
Let me belanja satu patung.
Oh, boleh belanja lah. Oh, belanja lah.
Cek mah.
Belanja lah.
lagi.
Okay.
Kalau ada semua dia ada, boleh kita menumpang mandi. Kalau ada umur yang panjang, insya-Allah kita berjumpa lagi.
Thank you Suhaila. Thank you so much.
Gapo ever.
Minta maaf kalau ada kekurangan. Yang baik semua datang dari Allah dan yang kurang datang dari kami.
Yeah, insyaAllah. Thank you.
So with that, we have come to the end of our session for today.